Hey lovies, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, welcome. My name is Kenya. I do fashion hauls. I also do lifestyle vlogs, and there's a little bit of beauty sprinkled in there. And so today, as you can tell from the title, what we're going to be going over is how to make over $1,000 in a week. And one of the ways to do that, and the way that I'm going to be talking about today, is with UberEats. So I'm going to be talking about ways that you can use UberEats to make over $1,000 in a week. And you know, we all can use some extra funds. You can use it either for paying down debt, for your pleasures like traveling or going out to eat. And so this is really helpful, and it's something that is a part of my life. So I thought I would share it with you guys. Okay, so before we get started with the tips that I have to make over $1,000 in 1 week, I just want to kind of describe, most people kind of know of UberEats, they've ordered through UberEats, but the way that it works is that you are an independent contractor and you're a driver. What I do is I take advantage of UberEats only. I don't do Uber riders, especially since COVID, but even before COVID, I stopped doing riders in my car. I literally pick up food and deliver the food to where it needs to go, and I get paid over $1,000 in a week when I do this. So basically, you get a notification on your screen when you're online. You accept that notification, you go to that restaurant, you ask for the food, you pick it up, you deliver it to the home of the customer, and you're done. That's it. I like to personally drive around the city. I like to listen to podcasts. Joe Budden podcast is one of my faves. I like to listen to my playlist, watch or listen to court shows. I really have a great time when I'm doing Uber Eats. And let's get into 5 tips to make sure that you make over $1,000 in 1 week using Uber Eats. Okay, so tip number 1. Drive during meal times. And what I mean when I say meal times is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, brunch, and then also 5 to 9 p.m. For that dinner rush or that late night rush when people are hungry. It's best to drive during these times to maximize your time. It's gonna be busy. Also, it's likely that there'll be surges. Surges mean that your earnings will be higher per trip. So it's really important that you drive during these times. And then also, a lot of times Uber Eats offers promotions. So depending on the number of trips that you drive between that 11 to 2 time period or that 5 to 9 time period, then you'll be paid extra dollars for driving during those times. So for example, Uber Eats will say, if you drive 10 trips between 11 to 2, we'll pay you $10 extra, or we'll pay you $20. And depending on the busyness of that day, we'll outline when Uber Eats are going to have these promotions. But if you're driving during these meal times, it's likely you'll have a promotion, or there'll be surges, or it'll be busy. And so you're likely to have higher earnings in a shorter period of time. That is tip number 1, drive during meal times. So tip number 2 is don't take lunch trips, or don't accept lunch trips that are less than $5. And don't accept like later evening dinner trips, like that 5 to 9 time period. Don't accept trips that are less than $7 to $10. And this I'm saying based off of where I drive, which is Cincinnati, Ohio, or Kentucky. Based on our cost of living and where I drive, that tends to be the range. You can either have trips that are very low, like they might be offering you $2, or they might be offering you $20 for 2 separate orders, for you to pick up 2 separate orders. But it's very important that you don't accept less than $5 for a lunch trip, or you don't accept less than $7 to $10 for a dinner trip. And the reason for this is sometimes Uber Eats may, or Uber if you're driving Uber, they may have promotions. So for some reason, this customer may have some big promotion to where they're not paying out a lot for the trip. But you're out doing Uber Eats or Uber in order to make a living. I'm doing it in order to make a living, feed my family, all those kind of things. So we're not doing volunteer work. So I'm not going to accept a trip that's less than $5 during lunchtime and less than $7 to $10 during dinner time. Now, sometimes if you decline a certain number of trips, like 3 trips, it may take you offline, which means you won't be open for trips, but you literally just press go and you'll be back online making trips. So I am very picky when it comes to the trips that I accept, and this ensures that I make a good amount of money in a short period of time. I don't want to be out all day, and I don't want to be taking $2 for a trip. I'm driving, I'm using gas, I'm using my car. It is very important that my time is used wisely and that I'm paid well. So I do not, and the second tip is, do not accept trips for lunch that are less than $5, and don't accept trips for dinner that are less than $7 to $10. My third tip is start out early. It is very important if you want to make money in a shorter period of time and not have to drive all day doing Uber Eats. It's important that you start out early. One really cool thing is when you open yourself up for trips or go online early in the morning, you're likely to get easier trips. These are Starbucks trips, people ordering their coffee, IHOP, McDonald's, breakfast spots. And so you're likely to make a higher amount of money in a shorter period of time, just because a lot of people are not online super early in the morning. So that's like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I would say at the latest, jump on at 9 a.m. And I'll get Starbucks trips, and I'll go from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and I can easily make $100 already, just between 9 and 2. And that's because it's those early morning trips that the fares are higher because not a lot of people are out driving. And then you get that lunch rush right after you get done delivering those early morning Starbucks trips. So third tip, start out early. If you start out early, you can make a good amount of money before the day even gets started, before some people haven't, even gotten up to start their day. Tip number 4, follow the delivery instructions. Follow the delivery instructions. This may seem like so simple and like, duh, Kenya, I'm gonna follow the delivery instructions. But people don't. I can tell you that I have gotten DoorDash trips where I told them no contact delivery, especially during COVID times, and they're still knocking on my door. They're still buzzing my door. I have put that my babies are sleeping or that I don't want to see you. I'll just leave it at the outside door. And people are still doing this. This is gonna irritate me. This irritates me as a customer. So as a driver, you want to make sure that you're following delivery instructions, because this is going to ensure that you get the tip or the fare that they said that they were going to give you. And it may also get you more money because they can tip even more than they said they were going to tip initially. So yeah, guys, follow those delivery instructions. If they say no contact delivery, if it says meet at door, knock on the door, meet them at the door. But if it says leave at door, leave it at the door. If they give you instructions, use this code to get into the building and then leave that, leave it at the door. That's what you need to do. Okay. So my fifth and final tip is find a hotspot. Find your hotspot. You will know right away when you start driving or when you drive around in different areas where the hotspots are. And what I mean by hotspot is find that restaurant that whenever you get trips from that restaurant, it is always a high fare. You always make a lot of money. The tips are always really nice. For me, okay, if you've watched this far, then you deserve it. In Cincinnati, Ohio, my hotspot is Wild Ginger. It's over in Hyde Park, Oakley area. And no matter what, I start out there, or if I'm on my way from my house there, I may pick up trips on the way, but I'm always, like, once I get done with that trip, headed to Wild Ginger, headed on the way. Maybe I might get trips on the way, but that's my hot spot. That if it gets slow and I, can make my way there, then I make my way there and I sit and I wait. Because if I get a Wild Ginger trip, the fare is going to be high, the tip's going to be good, and Hyde Park, Oakley in general, I'm guaranteed to make a great tip, to make a high earning trip. And like I said, we're maximizing our time in order to get those earnings super quick. And so if you follow all of these tips, then you are guaranteed to make over $1,000 if you work through Uber Eats. This, I promise you, this is what I go by, the 5 most important things in order to make sure that I walk away each week with $1,000. You've seen the clips. I showed you my earnings. It is true. like I said, if you want to get started with Uber Eats, I have included down in the description box a referral code. And so please feel free to use that. I also make a bonus off of you signing up for Uber. But again, this video is not sponsored. I'm not an Uber partner. The only thing that I am is I work for Uber, Uber Eats as a driver, just like anybody else. But thank you so much for spending time with me today. Again, if you like this video, if you want more videos like this, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks, lovies. Bye.